So the last speaker that we have is our Palestinian sister. And so in the same way that we in the All African People's Revolutionary Party, GC, like to or prefer to always involve our indigenous brothers and sisters in our struggles, we also understand the ways in which the apartheid state and the people of Palestine continue to be neglected and brutalized, and disenfranchised, and oppressed and exploited by the U.S. government and its other cronies. And so we want to give the floor of our final presentation to our sister Hadeel. Unfortunately, I do not have a bio for you. So if you are on the call, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself as you begin speaking, that would be great.
Hi everyone. First, I would like to thank all the speakers before me, and thank you, Leila, for the introduction. I'm Hadeel Shatara. I live in Palestine. I am the coordinator of Samidoun International Prisoners. Sorry, I am the coordinator of Samidoun, the International Prisoners Solidarity Network. Sorry, Palestinian Prisoners Solidarity Network. I'll be speaking today about women in Palestine, but first of all, I would like to thank All African Women's Revolutionary Union and All African People's Revolutionary Party. So from Palestine, we would like to send our salutation to all the strugglers and female fighters in the world, for the African women, for the indigenous women, Arab women, and all women in the world who are fighting against imperialism and colonialism, patriarchy, and of course, the reactionary regimes. And to our comrades in South Africa who are still fighting for freedom, because we know that the African woman is actually the one who lit the fire of revolution all over Africa. Also for all the fighters of imperialism and American colonialism in Haiti. So the title of the session was The Emancipation of Women is a precondition for the emancipation of men. But actually, the emancipation of women is a precaution for a precondition for freedom in general. In whatever fight that we go through, the emancipation of women is actually the base in any community, in any fight that we're going through. Women's struggle in general had begun hundreds of years ago, and the road to freedom and equality was not and still not an easy one, but we as women were born a fighter. We were born fighters, and this is what we saw from the speakers before me. And our joint struggle against colonialism, imperialism is an ongoing issue for almost 500 years or more now. So, and it actually shaped our culture, it shaped our history as people around the world who are struggling now against colonialism and who are at the heart of the struggle of women in Palestine, in Africa, in South America, Asia, and everywhere. So for the Palestinian women's fight against colonialism and patriarchy now, it had started many, many years ago. And like women in Africa, we did not only carry weapons in this fight against colonialism towards freedom, but also women were the ones who carried the economic burden in Palestine. They were the ones who started the literacy programs during the Intifada or before the Intifada. So women had carried the whole cause itself, and they did not take a back seat in fighting toward freedom, and in no matter what case that we're fighting for social struggle and for the political struggle, and they're connected. Today, we have more than 35 Palestinian female prisoners in the occupation and the Zionist occupation jails. So we have, they are women in the front line fighting the occupation in Palestine. Today, this is the month of women and land in Palestine, and these two things are connected because freedom for women means the freedom for land here, and you cannot separate between the social struggle and the political struggle. For the past 30 years, things has changed a bit in Palestine since the start of a new path in the Palestinian cause, a path where we were revolutionary, where we were fighting against the colonial Zionist entity, to a path where a Palestinian Authority was formed, an agreement was signed, an agreement for what's so-called fake peace was signed with the Israeli Zionist side. And this had led to a recreation of the whole situation. It recreated a system that is based on patriarchy and a reactionary regime that was created inside Palestine. Women outside Palestine, the refugee women, has suffered economically, socially, and culturally, as well as politically, because she was a lot of families were actually living in refugee camps outside Palestine, and now there is around 8 million Palestinians living outside Palestine. So we're not talking about the suffering of Palestinian women within the Palestinian map, but we're also talking about the suffering of Palestinian women all over the places. In refugee camps in Lebanon, in Jordan, Syria, and now spread in Europe, United States, and everywhere. What the BA has created here is it became an agent for the occupation, and this system had created more oppression against women because this new authority has decided for the past 30 years that women's struggle and social struggle is not a necessity, so they put it in the back seat. So our fight as a woman had increased. We're not only fighting the occupation now, but we're also fighting the authorities, the reactionary authorities that was created under the current circumstances. So what we're working on now, as what we're trying to work on, is an alternative path, a revolutionary alternative path where women can take the lead and take their normal role, because we have to fight back and take a role back to actually attain freedom. So this is a project that we're working about. We're gathering Palestinian women from all over the places where they're living, and we're opening this discussion about what is the feminist point of view that we want to see in the struggle. What is the path that us as women must take in our fight towards freedom as Palestinian women? This is basically what we're facing. We're not only facing the occupation, who's confiscating our life, literally. We're confiscating air in Palestine. So, and we're also fighting reactionary regimes. We're fighting for for women who are living in refugee camps. We're fighting for women who are inside prisons now. So, what we need today, from what all the speakers started talking about, is a global, popular, anti-imperialist front, because you cannot fight imperialism and reactionary regimes, colonialism, or patriarchy unless we all gather together and we start our joint struggle program or front. So this front needs to be built on a popular level between all women in the world to be able to attain something, which is freedom, of course. This is in general, and I'm ready to answer any question. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And also thank you for the corrective that the emancipation of women is a precondition for liberation and freedom in general.